I wasn't supposed to find this. But I did. Stark's satellites didn't just watch villains, they watched everyone. Bruce, Clark, Diana, Arthur. I know them all. And now they know that I know. He's already here. We trusted him. But now he's become the greatest threat. Spider-Man knew the secret identity of every Justice League member. It started with a flicker. One flicker on a satellite feed that wasn't supposed to exist. Spider-Man had tapped into Stark's old systems out of curiosity. A routine scan through dormant surveillance channels left behind after Tony's multiversal project was shelved. Nothing dangerous. Nothing new. Until that flicker. A hidden file, deep in a code, buried beneath layers of encryption Stark never told anyone about. Peter's curiosity kicked in hard. It didn't say much, just a title. The Others. He blinked. Not Hydra. Not Skrulls. Just the Others. He ran a soft decrypt, just a glance. The file opened without resistance, like it wanted to be seen. What he saw next made his heart stop. Bruce Wayne, billionaire, Batman, Clark Kent, reporter, Superman, Diana Prince, diplomat, Wonder Woman, Barry Allen, forensics, The Flash. Every name, every face, every identity. And not just names, locations, habits, weaknesses. Their most guarded secrets, all laid bare on one glowing screen. A file not from Earth 616. This was Earth 50, the DC universe, the Justice League. Peter stood frozen, the city swirling below his rooftop perch. The sky felt too quiet, the air too still. This wasn't some tabloid leak. This was absolute truth. And now it lived in his brain. He didn't tell anyone. Not MJ. Not Strange. Not even Deadpool, who always seemed to know things before they happened. Peter didn't trust anyone with this. But he should have known. This file wasn't a mistake. It was bait. 48 hours later, a satellite passed over Queens. A silent one. Not StarkTech. Not Wakandan. Something else. Peter felt it, crawling through his senses like static. Something was watching, and someone was coming. He swung through Manhattan, trying to ignore the weight in his chest. But then the signs started appearing. First, a newspaper on the Bugle's doorstep with a headline circled in red. Wayne Industries acquires Daily Planet. Next, a batarang lodged into the bricks beside his window, with a tracker burning through it. Then came the birds. Dozens of them, forming a perfect spiral overhead. That's when he knew John knew. Peter Parker had one rule: don't mess with people's lives. But now, without meaning to, he'd hacked the masks off the world's most powerful beings. And the world was starting to feel it. That night, he sat in his apartment, lights off, mask off, holding a USB drive that should never have existed. Outside, thunder rolled over the city, but it wasn't a storm. A red streak zipped past his window. Then another. He ran to the roof. Superman hovered above him, eyes glowing, cape unmoving, wind refusing to touch him. You saw it, he said. Peter didn't answer. Superman's eyes narrowed. Who else did you tell? Peter stepped forward slowly. No one. I swear. I didn't even want to see it. I didn't mean to. Another voice cut in sharp, strategic, and cold. You always mean to, Peter. Batman emerged from the shadows behind him. You just pretend not to. Is this a threat? Peter asked, voice shaking. No, Batman replied, stepping closer. This is a test. You know our names. Now, we want to know yours. Before Peter could speak, a whisper echoed through his mind. Diana's thoughts. Calm, strong, disappointed. You've crossed into a world that's never forgiven spies. Peter's spider sense erupted. Not in fear, but in warning. This wasn't just a breach. This was a declaration. Peter didn't sleep that night. Superman vanished into the clouds. Batman disappeared without a sound. But the tension stayed. It filled the walls, the city, the sky. He sat motionless, still holding the drive like it might explode. And in a way, it already had. They knew he had their secrets. And now he knew something worse. Someone else wanted him to. That file, it wasn't encrypted by Stark. It wasn't even from this universe. It had Lex Luthor's fingerprints all over it. Digital DNA laced with arrogance. A message disguised as data. Let them destroy each other. You just have to look. It wasn't just bait, it was a spark. And Peter had lit the match. By morning, things were already unraveling. The Justice League wasn't silent anymore. News reports from Metropolis said Superman skipped his interviews. Batman's last known appearance in Gotham? Radio silent. Wonder Woman left Themyscira on emergency summons. Flash was spotted breaking the speed barrier between dimensions. They were gathering, and they weren't talking. Peter tried to warn someone, tried to reach out. Reed? Offline. Fury? Vanished. Stark's system was a dead end. Even Strange had closed the Sanctum's doors without a word, like the universe was isolating him on purpose. At lunch, a waitress handed Peter a folded napkin. Nothing on it but 4 letters in black ink. Run. He didn't finish his meal. By evening, he was being followed. At first, just shadows. Then, flickers of red lightning. A shimmer in a store window. Voices in languages he didn't understand, spoken by people who didn't blink. He wasn't being hunted by mortals. He was being watched by gods. He tried to destroy the file, burned it, smashed it, even asked a local mutant tech to fry it psychically. But no matter what he did, the data stayed in his mind. The images, the names, the weight. He remembered everything, and memory couldn't be deleted. That's when Peter realized something horrible. The real danger wasn't that he had their identities. It's that someone had used him to expose them. He wasn't just a breach. He was a weapon, a silent one, a trusted one. And now he was radioactive. The final straw came when MJ called in a panic. Peter, she whispered. There's a man at the door. Says he's a friend. But he's glowing. Peter's voice cracked. What color? Blue, she said. And he's not blinking. Peter ended the call. Dr. Manhattan? No, couldn't be. But it didn't matter. His life and hers weren't safe anymore. No one's was. Not until he figured out who set this up and why. He packed nothing. Just a suit, a burner phone, and a thumb drive now full of fake data. Then he vanished from Queens. No signal, no trace. He became a ghost. The only way to survive now was to disappear before the League made him disappear first. But even ghosts can't hide from Batman. Not forever. And somewhere deep underground, in a bunker not even the Justice League knew existed, Lex Luthor watched it all unfold with a smile. Phase 2 begins, he whispered. And Spider-Man doesn't even know what he triggered. Peter thought he had more time. He was wrong. 2 days off-grid wasn't enough to lose the Justice League. Not when one of them could move faster than light, another could read minds, and the third could smell fear. Every shadow felt like it was watching him. Every streetlight flickered when he passed. Every mirror showed something that didn't belong. They weren't just tracking him. They were studying him. The first to reach him wasn't Superman. It wasn't Batman. It was Diana. She didn't come with a sword. She didn't need one. She stood in the center of the abandoned warehouse Peter had picked as a temporary hideout, surrounded by dust and silence. You ran, she said. Peter stayed near the rafters, upside down, masked, but not hidden. You followed. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. The others? Not so much. He dropped down gently, landing a few feet from her. I didn't leak anything. I didn't even mean to open it. You opened it, she said flatly. That was enough. A pulse of tension filled the room. Then the walls shattered. Superman arrived. No sound, no warning, just a sonic boom and the smell of burned air. Peter barely reacted before heat vision scorched the ground at his feet. That was a warning, Superman said, voice heavy, cold, alien. The next one isn't. I'm not your enemy, Peter said quickly. You're not our friend either. Then the shadows twisted. Batman stepped out from behind a broken beam. You accessed something that didn't belong to your universe. That's an act of war. Peter laughed once, bitterly. Do I look like someone trying to start a war? Batman didn't blink. No, you look like someone being used to do it. Peter stepped back. You think this is my plan? No, Batman said. I think it's Lex's. But you're the delivery system. Superman moved closer. The floor cracked under his boots. You know who we are, so we have a choice. Erase your memory or remove you permanently. Try it, Peter said, stepping into his stance. Let's see who walks away. For a split second, no one moved. Then a portal opened behind them, swirling orange sparks. Dr. Strange stepped through. Enough, he said, eyes glowing. You're not erasing anyone. Superman turned. This isn't your universe. Strange raised his hand. That didn't stop you from threatening mine. Batman narrowed his eyes. Why protect him? Strange looked at Peter. Because he didn't just find the file. He found the key. The room went silent. Diana lowered her lasso. The key to what? She asked. Strange looked at them all. To Lex's plan. That file wasn't about identities. It was about access. Multiversal pathways. Control points. Strategic collapse nodes. He fed Peter the identities to start a chain reaction. Superman clenched his jaw. And now the chain is lit. Batman's voice turned grim. How long? Strange didn't answer. That was the answer. Peter took a breath. So now what? Diana walked toward him slowly. Now we find out if we trust you or take you off the board. Spider-Man raised his hands. If I wanted to expose you, I would have gone live by now. Batman nodded. That's the only reason you're still breathing. Superman stared at Peter one last time, then launched into the sky with a sonic boom that shook the building. Strange turned to Peter. You're going to need backup. Peter wiped dust off his suit. You volunteering? No, Strange said. I'm gathering the ones who've already seen the end. He vanished. Peter was alone again, but not hunted. Not yet. Now, the war wasn't about information. It was about who controlled the truth next. Lex Luthor was 10 steps ahead. He always was. While the Justice League argued and Spider-Man ran, Lex watched it all unfold from a fortress buried under layers of lead and quantum masking tech. No one could find him. No one could hear him. Not even Superman. That's how he liked it. He stood in front of a multiversal interface built from tech stolen from Brainiac, Doom, and 3 alternate versions of himself. Every key he needed had already been triggered. Spider-Man was just the first. The file Peter opened didn't just reveal identities, it woke up access points. Multiversal bridges that had been sealed since the last incursion event. Each name he saw, it pinged the system, activated dormant codes, broke reality just a little more. Lex wasn't trying to expose the Justice League. He was trying to weaken the walls between worlds. Because he knew something no one else did. The universes weren't expanding. They were collapsing. And something was about to take control of what was left. Meanwhile, Peter Parker felt it in his chest. The weight, the wrongness. Every web he shot crackled with a faint delay, like physics was lagging. Glitches in the sky, lights flickering in patterns. And in the corner of his eye, sometimes stars moved sideways. He told Strange. Strange didn't blink. I've seen this before, he said, right before incursions. When 2 worlds start bleeding into each other. Peter's voice trembled. So how long before they crash? Strange looked at him. If we do nothing? Days. Maybe hours. Peter swallowed hard. And if we do something? Strange hesitated. We need the key. The original core code. The root. Peter's head snapped up. You mean the file I saw? Strange nodded. The first point of entry. The moment Lex seeded the chain. But Lex wasn't hiding it anymore. He wanted them to come. Because the final part of his plan required one last piece. Conflict. Multiversal tension wasn't enough. He needed war. Hero versus hero. Distrust. Fear. The Justice League hunting Spider-Man wasn't just personal. It was fuel. The more mistrust they felt, the faster the collapse. And now the Avengers were starting to notice. Reports came in. Captain America saw a shadow version of himself walking past in Brooklyn. Thor sensed someone moving the World Tree's branches from another dimension. Scarlet Witch's powers glitched mid-battle. And Iron Man? His AI went dead after it muttered one phrase. They're already here. The universes were crossing, but something worse was happening. They were merging. Heroes met versions of themselves in dreams. Cities began folding. Metropolis's skyline briefly replaced New York's for 3 seconds. Enough for Lois Lane and J. Jonah Jameson to share eye contact across realities. Something was unraveling. Peter had to act. With Strange's help, he tracked the root signal. Not just digital, not magical, dimensional. It pulsed like a heartbeat. Deep in a locked sector of the Phantom Zone, a place only Luthor could access after stealing Zod's tech. They opened a gate and saw it. A console of pure energy, built from Kryptonian design and Stark architecture, floating in a rift between worlds. Each Justice League identity still displayed. Each name now glowing red. "You know what this is," Strange whispered. Peter nodded. "It's not a file. It's a weapon." Strange stepped forward, shut it down. But before he could cast the seal, a blast of green light hit him square in the chest. Peter turned in time to see Lex Luthor step out of the rift, armored, calm, and holding a cube crackling with multiversal energy. "I knew you'd come," Lex said. Peter stood firm. "You set me up." Lex smiled. "I elevated you. You were just a pawn, now you're a pivot. And in every multiverse, the pivot either breaks the board or flips it. You're going to kill worlds." Lex stepped closer. "I'm going to build one perfect one from the ashes of the broken." Peter clenched his fists. "You'll have to go through me." Lex raised the cube. "Oh, I will. But not alone." Behind him, a portal opened. Out stepped Spider-Man, but not Peter Parker. This one wore black and red. No mouth on his mask. Eyes glowing. Voice glitching. "I'm what you could have been," the variant said. "If you stopped pretending you were just the friendly neighborhood kind." Peter stared at him. Lex laughed. "Let's begin the end." Peter faced himself, or something that wore his face. The other Spider-Man moved like liquid code. No jokes, no hesitation. Every motion sharp and violent. He was faster, stronger, unforgiving. The version of Peter who never held back, who never pulled punches, who never mourned the cost. Lex called him the Apex. "You created him," Lex said calmly. "When you opened the file, when you saw the truth and tried to run. This is the version of you that embraced it." Peter clenched his fists. "He's not me. He's better." Without warning, Apex lunged. The fight wasn't fair. They moved between crumbling dimensions, through a collapsing watchtower, across fragments of Wakanda, between bleeding skylines of Gotham and New York, folding over each other like shattered mirrors. Every punch Peter threw was met with something faster, harder. But Peter had one thing Apex didn't: doubt. Doubt had kept him human, had kept him humble. It made him hesitate, but it also made him care. And in that care, there was strength. He used it. A perfectly mistimed punch on purpose. A move too slow. Apex took the bait. Overextended. Peter twisted midair, shot 3 webs to unstable platforms, and slammed Apex through a collapsing reality gate. Both of them tumbled into the Phantom core. The console Lex built was cracking now. Strange's earlier spell had damaged the stabilizer, and Peter's fight had done the rest. Peter stood, breathing hard. Apex rose again, but this time slower. He was glitching. The universes were rejecting him. A copy too perfect to survive a broken multiverse. "You could have been everything," Apex whispered. "I already am," Peter said. "And I don't need to destroy everything to prove it." Peter pulled his mask off. Apex blinked, then vanished like ash caught in reverse. The Phantom core surged. The console sparked. Lex screamed, trying to repair the damage, but Strange reappeared, wounded, floating, hand glowing with ancient magic. "Not this time," Strange said. He channeled the spell. Peter added his webbing, tethering Lex to the crumbling platform. The cube shattered. A wave of white light spread outward, not destroying, but resetting. Universes separated. Worlds healed. Reality breathed. And then it all went black. Peter woke up on his rooftop in Queens. Same skyline, same air, same city, but quieter. No satellite overhead, no voices in his head, no phantom flickers in the sky. The multiverse was sealed. For now, a letter sat beside him, folded. No signature, just one sentence. The Justice League knows you kept their secret. That's all they need. He smiled. Down below, MJ walked by with coffee. No glowing men, no strange signals. Just life, normal, almost, until a breeze passed, and a whisper floated through it. He's still out there. Peter turned. But there was nothing. No Lex, no Apex, just one universe, and one Spider-Man. But now, he wasn't just neighborhood level anymore. He'd seen beyond the walls, fought versions of himself, faced gods, been hunted by heroes and used by monsters, and survived. That kind of knowledge doesn't go away. It lives in you. And Peter knew, if the day ever came when the walls cracked again, when names were leaked, when war came calling, he'd be ready. Not because he was the strongest, but because he remembered what it almost cost him. And because somewhere, maybe in some sealed pocket of time, the Apex waits, watching.